Right, welcome to our third feature match of the night here for week two of Duskmourn League. Curtis, who was joining me before on commentary for the first two matches, has stepped into the ring here for our last bout of the night, and Adrian, who played earlier tonight, has stepped into the commentary booth. He's going to be looking at Aaron B's hand, and aside from this, we'll Darren Epic here. What else is going on over there?
Okay. Looks like he's running red white. He is missing white, but he currently has an Arabella if he hits the white source,
Okay.
and then from there we have a elegant rotunda to push some damage, and we have tormenting voice and added treason, but no other creatures besides the glimmer from the rotunda and the Arabella if we hit a white source.
Okay, so what was looking like a pretty treacherously bad hand for Curtis here was unlocked by his draw for the turn, which was a mountain, because he has three other red cards in hand that are trapped in the screen. So if he wasn't drawing red sources, this game was going to be very difficult. But now that he has, he can cast his red spells, being Iroas's Blessing, which is another card from Theros to go along with the one that's in play now. It's got the Piggy Bank, Irreverent Gremlin, and the Trapped in the Screen. Um, so interesting to note, this is the first person that we've had in the feature match who's playing quite a few cards less than 60 here. He's on 54, so he does have five losses, as he talked a little bit about earlier when he was on commentary. So he's on 54 cards, so that's a pretty big advantage over anybody that's 60 and above. And Aaron's right down the middle; he's at 60, so he has some Crimson Vow cards, as we can see in the form of the Epicure that's in play, but pretty much 60 cards. So he's trying. I'm guessing he's trying to keep it as close to 60 as he can.
Yes, and it seems like Aaron also has a pretty streamlined red white deck with a black splash,
Okay.
and also Aaron's record is he is 5 entries so
Yeah.
far, so I imagine his deck size will stay pretty close to 60 for now. And it's a
Yeah.
timely removal spell.
Yeah. The only time there's really going to be a big departure is if you go on like a 3+ match winning streak, right? That's really gonna change it by a huge amount. Yeah, so I'll be curious to see during sideboarding, like exactly what Curtis's colors are like if he's made two colors, what the splashes are, or if they are splashes. But he's got a pretty nice board here, considering his opponent has one ones. And the Iros' Blessing is an aura that you attach to your own creature that then deals 4 damage to something, and that will trigger his heroic creature there. So if you did not play Theros but played Bloomburrow, it's not that different from Valiant. It's whenever the creature becomes the target of a spell, and it's you can do it more than once a turn. So a little bit different
Oh,
from
so is
Valiant, but same idea. You want pump spells and things like that.
so is Boomer Valiant basically.
Yeah, well, it's heroic. So all of his creatures get +1/+0 whenever the hero of the Nyxborn is targeted by a spell. So it doesn't trigger off abilities, but it does trigger multiple times a turn. In Duskmourn League, I don't know if you can really expect to trigger your heroic more than once a turn, if that much. But he does have a way in hand right now. I guess Aaron's just deciding how to proceed with the rest of the turn. All right, Teddy Bear's fine.
Yeah, it seems like Aaron was actually up an attack there, but decided to hold back and play a teddy bear and be defensive. Seems like the board is pretty even with Curtis can easily explode for a lot of damage with a heroic trigger and Gremlin having menace. So we'll see what Curtis can cook up here.
Yeah, so it's all removal spells in hand, right? There's the Araros' Blessing, which triggers the heroic. There's Trapped in the Screen, and then drawn for turn is the Glassworks, which is the room that deals 4 damage on one side of it. So he's got options here. They all involve killing something. It's just exactly how he's going to deploy that. Looks like it's going to be on the hero of Nyxborn, killing presumably. Okay, he says I'll take an extra card, and it's a land here. Yeah, so I mean, Aaron's best block here is probably either trade with the piggy bank or kill the irreverent gremlin. I don't think he really has too many other choices here. He's not going to be taking 11. I can't imagine he's going to take 11. So yeah, I mean, this is still good for Curtis, right? He gets to deal 8 damage, and he still has two pretty decent sized creatures left.
Yeah, but Aaron does have a tormenting voice effect, and he just drew a glimmer light to have an extra blocker. But
Okay,
more interesting
yeah,
is he has an active treason, so if he draws some kind of way to like sacrifice something for cheap, he might can do an active treason, sack a creature at some point, but currently that is not on the table this turn.
yeah. Active treason is a tough card when you're behind like this. It's just that's the reason why a lot of people just stay away from it in most situations because when you draw it in a game like this, it's just a card you can't put on the stack really. Like when it's good, but when it's bad, it's like really bad. But we'll see what he decides to do here to keep himself alive against this offense here. Okay, so he goes for the Glimmerlight. He goes for 3 bodies. Um, you know, small bodies, but they're still bodies nonetheless. I am a little surprised that Curtis didn't play his 5th land last turn because now he's drawn another land and he would be able to cast both Glassworks and Trapped in the Screen if he had the 6 lands. But maybe he was afraid of discard, or maybe he has his own tormenting voice effects that he wants to hold the land for. Not sure, but there was an option of playing a land last turn and then having drawn one this turn, deploying both things. But for now, he can play one of them.
Yeah, and I think even through a removal spell here, Aaron can come back. Like if he plays the trapped in the screen to remove a 2/2, attack of everything, spread his board for the hero, the Nitspawn, go to 2. If he draws like a wedding announcement,
Oh, he's running one of those.
he
Very
could
good.
potentially stabilize actually.
Yeah, I
If
he's decided to go for Glassworks here. I would almost have the mind to cast the Shattered Yard half and just, I mean, opponents at 5, just put this down and say, what are you gonna do about it? I got I have 5 damage here over the next 5 turns, and my board's a little bigger than yours, so I would have been almost tempted to play that Shattered Yard half and start getting him dead. But he can do that next turn and really put Aaron in a bad situation here. Of note, Aaron still has that blood token, so he can for 1 mana, you know, replace one of the cards in his hand.
and blood token could find a trapped in the screen, which could answer the glassworks, which would answer the second half of the glassworks. So there's still a few outs left, I think.
So I imagine he's going to be putting the Glimmerlight here. I would think on the Scavenger, so in case one gets removed, he can still trade. Yeah, makes sense. Oh, that is a bold attack. I would say at 2 life. Because now Curtis just gets to untap and trapped in the screen. Yeah, I think you need to leave two. I think you need to leave back 2 things there. Like the opponent being able to have a removal is, dying to one removal is a bit risky at that stage in the game. Um, I I don't think Curtis was low enough in life that he could win in the next like 1 or 2 turns. Aaron, that is. So looking through the
Yeah,
deck here, it looks like he's pretty much split 3 colors. He has yeah, I wouldn't say any color is really a splash. He has maybe a little bit more red than the others, but it's pretty split across here. So red, white, and black cards up and down the curve, but some pretty good ones here. What's Aaron thinking about here in sideboarding?
well, Aaron has sided in 2 Winter's Interventions.
Okay.
And because his Black Splash is for like Anji made of this from Crimson Vow and
Okay.
Sawblade Skipper from Duskmourn.
Okay.
But currently, it's just two Winter's Interventions for now, trying to have some more cheap interaction because they're basically a mirror.
Yeah, I mean, well, when your cheap interaction is your splash color, it's a little less reliable. Like one of the reasons why you would side in a Winter's Intervention is just to snap it off on turn two if you think your opponent's trying to aggro you. But if it's your splash color, it's less likely to. That's less likely to happen. So, but he did identify perhaps a need to interact for cheaper mana. Just might not be on turn two when he would like it, depending on if he draws his black sources here.
Right, and also the intervention can be relevant later in the game, just not as efficient as one would want to, of course.
So how's Aaron's hand looking here?
He has two removal spells, and he has the Enduring Courage in hand, plus lands. So,
Okay, I mean, enduring courage, very very good. Yeah, piggy bank here on turn two. Also in hand for Curtis is the Gravebreaker Lamia, which is a rare from Theros. It's a 5 mana 4/4 lifelink, and you can go put a card into your graveyard. Like you can search your deck for something and put it in the graveyard. And I believe if you cast spells from the graveyard, they cost one less. I believe, but I mean primarily it's a 5 mana 4/4 lifelink. Down comes Veteran Survivor. He also has Eros Blessing, Unsettling Twins, a Swamp, and then a combat trick from Theros. So you just drew Karametra's Blessing. Um, yeah, I mean, it came and went in. Oh, looks like we lost Curtis's stream. So if
well,
somebody,
Aaron is
yeah,
just curving out here. So he is just like, kill the first two spells, played Enduring Courage, so I'll say that at least Aaron is on the front foot, and even though his hand only has a Tormenting Voice and a land, um, if Curtis stumbles at all, this could be a
oh,
quick win.
looks like Curtis is back. Let me check here. Yeah, if he is stumbling, yeah, I did want to mention for a moment. It came and went so quickly, but the survivor, the 1 mana 2/1. Have you been finding success with that card, or what do you think about that card? Because I've heard lots of different things about it.
Yeah, I think it's a very strong card. I think like normally it's basically just a um, one or two drop that will trade with most two drops in the early game. But honestly, if you have a deck where you can like push damage or have a lot of tricks or move with push in a couple of times, when it gets three counters, it actually is a real card. But I think for the two drop that is a one drop is good. Or two drop is good enough, but it does have the weakness of having one toughness, which is weaker against the black decks, which have a little one toughness hate. But I think overall, it's pretty easy to get a card out of the 2/1.
Yeah, it's like for me, it's ranged from trades with the worst creature your opponent has, all the way from that to completely takes over the game as of turn one, and it you never know which version of the card you're going to get. It obviously depends on what kind of interaction you have and what your opponent's doing, but turns out it's just a good card. But here we see and any time when enduring courage is on the battlefield, it's going to be very very difficult for the person on the other side here. And we're seeing that here as it gives the clown haste. And now he gets
Yeah, and
to pick
also
up two new cards.
Aaron just drew Toby and Arabella, two very strong cards that will probably turn this game on its head unless the curse is dealt with meta
Okay.
selling.
Yeah, your audio was breaking up a little, but I think I heard that there was an Arabella in hand as well as something
Yeah, there's
else.
Arabella and a Toby.
Oh, so two very nice rares. That could be, and they're all going to have haste. So, yeah. So the Irosis Blessing here is going to destroy the 3/3, but it's not going to destroy the ability here. Not in the slightest. So this could be of note. Arabella if it will get +2/+0, so it won't trigger off its own ability. But I mean, it's just so many bodies here.
This is a lethal effect as
Yes, it is
well.
absolutely way more than lethal. It is devastatingly lethal. So yeah, like I said, any game where somebody gets to play Enduring Courage and they're slightly ahead, well, they're going to be more than slightly ahead very very shortly. So we see that working out well. Looks like he wants to size up a little bit on the 4-drop slot, perhaps. He's taking out some of his unsettling twins and thinking about putting in the 3/4 for 4 savior.
Yeah, and also that card is better on play because you can easily
Oh, he
control the
can't he
flow.
can't sideboard. It looks like.
Oh no, is
Okay,
that a
so yeah, so this happens sometimes when your arena crashes mid game and brings you back in. So I don't know. I'm doing the recording, but if somebody wants to message him that they should restart the game and like go to game three right away, basically, that is very much allowed and encouraged in these situations. So I don't know if they're aware of that procedure, but they would go back into game. Somebody would concede. They would start a new match. Each one would concede. One would concede game one, next would concede game two, and then they'd be able to proceed normally. So
Hey, can everybody hear me? I can't sideboard.
yeah, who is this? Curtis?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so this happens sometimes when Arena crashes during the game and it brings you back in during the game. So
Hmm.
I mean, I would hope your opponent would be uh, in cooperation, but normally the procedure here would be that you restart the match. So you're just going to go into the game. Somebody's going to concede. You start a new best of three. Um, he'll concede game one. You'll concede game two, and then you'll get the sideboard for game three normally.
Okay,
So
that works.
that is the normal procedure. So it's not the best, but it's what we do. Sometimes Arena just says no. Yeah. So we'll we'll hopefully get this going. Yeah. Well, importantly, he would concede game one, and then you would concede game two, so that you get the play in the last game. It is indeed a trial of agony what we are going through right now. Absolutely a trial of agony.
Yeah.
You are not wrong in uh, mis- in not purposefully highlighting that card. Yeah, so somebody just concede, restart, blah blah blah. So not the best viewing experience here, but what can we do when Arena doesn't want to let us play?
Sorry about that. All right, I'm gonna go back on Devin.
Yep.
okay? Well, in the meantime, list. What do you think are his like stronger cards in the matchup, and just like what bombs he has available to him?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't catch all his cards. I know he's playing 3 colors worth of cards. He does have I forget all. I know he has Right of the Moth and some other perhaps another recursion spell, but he is. I didn't see too many like standout super broken cards here. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the rare that we saw in his hand last game was that Lamia from Theros, which is by no means a bomb. It's just it's a 5 mana 4/4 lifelink.
Yeah, and what creatures does he have to reanimate? Like, does he have anything big besides like the land cyclers? Does he have like the white, black, gold creature to
He
reanimate?
has
Or
he has one of each land cycler, red, black, and white. Um, I don't see too many bomb creatures here. It could just be his pool is a little weak. He has the unstoppable slasher. That's a nice one, but other than that, I'm not spotting too many rares here. Yeah, I think what he mentioned before when I was talking to him is that his probably his most consistent deck seems to be Simic, but it's just like the low end of it is just too weak. But he has a couple bombs, but the rest of the deck doesn't hold up. And then for the Mardu, he has like a bunch of fixing. He has 5 dual lands, so he can basically, run whatever combination of the colors he sees fit. And I guess he likes the flexibility of having the best of 3 colors rather than a potentially weaker 2-color deck with maybe a couple of standout cards. He he's going for maybe a more solid selection of cards from top to bottom of the curve. And looks like we're back in here for game 3. Going to get after a bit of a delay here due to Arena, saying no. you know, every time we enter these direct challenges, we like get down on our knees and pray a little bit to the arena gods. Are we allowed to do this? And most of the time they say yes, but sometimes they just say, forget you. All right, piggy bank here on turn 2. What's Aaron got for the next few turns?
Well, following the Arabella, he had a skimmer. Also a inside and tormenting voice in the press. But he also drew so it has a lot of work.
Yeah, unfortunately you were breaking up there, so I caught bits and pieces of it, but I heard some of the cards, but not all. I think you said grab the prize and something else. But unfortunately, I think you said the Skin Ripper perhaps, but
Yeah,
the audio was
Ripper
breaking up.
is still
Yeah, a little bit. So Curtis now is looking at Unstoppable Slasher as his draw. He has, and the rest of his hand is removal. So it's Drag to the Underworld, which is 2 black for kill anything. You get a deduction for your devotion to black, and then he has Irosa's Blessing, which we saw previous games, and the Final Vengeance, which is a Duskmourn card that you know. So being on the play, it's a good spot to play 2 creatures and then just kill everything your opponent does. That is a strategy that you know been tried, tested, and true. Be on the play, get creatures in play, kill your opponents. I think he's gonna try and see that plan through here.
yeah, but Aaron is honor, which is 4 mana plus some other but on the family is 4/5, which is the blocker at this point.
Yeah,
So and back and stabilize.
yeah. Unfortunately, I couldn't make out really any of that, sadly, due to it breaking up. So I don't know if you're able to fix it or somebody wants to step in temporarily. But yeah, I just hear a bit of static and maybe 1 or 2 words that I can make out in the meantime, unfortunately. So hopefully we can fix the technical issues or somebody can step in the meantime. But as we are going through that, Curtis's plays are fairly straightforward here. Opponent plays a threat, kill it. He's considering using the Final Vengeance here. He can sack the Iroas's Blessing as the cost, so that's a pretty nice interaction. Like I did mention earlier in the night, Theros, which I think was discounted by a lot of people, just because the card quality is a bit like decent bit lower than the other sets. Theros has kind of been coming through. Just lots of enchantments in Theros, things that care about enchantments. Plays very, very, very well. I've been really impressed anytime I've seen Theros cards in play here. So kind of a sleeper pick that I think a lot of people just discounted because the card quality isn't quite there. But the synergy is absolutely through the roof here. Do you have anybody on the other end here? All right, so I don't know if Adrian's working out the audio issues or if somebody wants to jump in while that's going on, but we do see the Norn and the Sawblade Skin Ripper here. So it looks pretty much like Aaron's trying to race, but without removal, it's difficult. Arabelle is helpful in the life, with the life gain, but Curtis can now play his Hero of the Nyxborn, and if he wants to, you can just sack the little 1/1 that it makes, or you can sack the Iroas's Blessing and just keep on pressuring. Looks like he's thinking about playing Unstoppable Slasher rather than the Hero. But he gets another attack for a good amount here. He's thinking about perhaps attacking, offering a trade with the piggy bank for the Ripper, but oh, what do we got here? Oh, so we see Adrian has mentioned in the chat here that his mic seems to be dying. So if somebody wishes to step in and follow from Aaron's side, please do so. Otherwise, we'll continue the solo commentary here. Does decide to sack the enchantment to kill the blocker, putting him down to 5. And the Unstoppable Slasher is very, very threatening here. And Norin, despite being a good card, is quite bad when you're behind. So not sure what's in Aaron's hand here that can turn the tide, but he does have a blood token, so he can discard something to dig here. Okay, plays the goat. Again, not really what you want to see if you're trying to stay alive. But he says, I have to put my best foot forward, and I can't win if I don't attack at some point, and that point is now. Yeah, so unfortunately his mana situation dictates that unless he has a plains, he can't recast the Arabella this turn. Yeah, so Norin lets you attack without fear of your blockers dying, but in this case, if he doesn't have the plains, exiling the Arabella won't be of any help, but he does go for the turn inside out. Okay. So 1 card left in hand here for Aaron, 1 card left in hand here for Curtis. We can see it's the Hero of the Nyxborn. And okay, fear of immobility is a very good draw here. Just tap down something and continue the attacks. Yeah, so pretty nice draws here for Curtis. You always like those games where you get up to 5 mana, everything you cast costs 5 mana or less, and you don't top deck lands when you need spells. So that's how you put together a winning game a lot of the time. See if Aaron, can go to 3, and then it's gonna be hard if he thinks he might be able to win next turn. But I don't know what combination of cards you could find to deal 8 damage through a blocker. So there's a chance he's just gonna soak up 3 damage here and keep his life total as high as he can. As I said before, if anybody wants to step in and commentate from looking at Aaron's hand, that would be much appreciated, since Adrian's mic was not functioning properly there. So please go ahead and step in if you wish. Okay, well that was a fortuitous draw with the blood token. He was able to have exactly 1 mana to kill that gremlin. So that was a timely card there. He's still facing down a bit of trouble, but well, it's better without a 2/2 menace for him. Right, in comes Norin since it can't block. Makes sense. All right, so nothing really to see here with the Norin. Norin's scared. Norin runs away. Norin comes back. Classic Norin the Wary or Norin Swift Survivalist play pattern. Yeah, he runs away. He comes back. Oh, Disturbing Mirth here. Yeah, he can play as Hero of the Nextborn and then sack the token to Disturbing Mirth. That doesn't change his ability to attack here. So seeing that 3 mana has been left open for putting counters on the Possessed Goat, he attacks only with the Piggy Bank. Or only with Fear and not with the Piggy Bank. Aaron's pretty priced into just putting the counters on the Goat. I don't know if he has a better option than that in trading.
Just by being real quick to say he just has a planes at hand, so he's probably just gonna put counters on it, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you for jumping in there for the info. Um, yeah, so unfortunate to just have the land there. He did have to hold it to use on the Goat. Um, not sure what he's thinking about. I mean, it's kind of a forced play for him. He doesn't really have too much of a choice here. So in comes Hero of the Nextborn, in comes Disturbing Mirth. He can sack the 1/1, draw 2 cards. It's just mountains. But yeah, Aaron needs a real good draw here. With only 4 lands in play, he might not be able to cast any card that he draws if he has cards that cost more than 4. So see how he approaches the turn.
Just draw a Gremlin for the turn. Reverent Gremlin.
I mean, it's a blocker. That's what he needs.
Yeah, it's something.
Yeah, of note, he does get to attack with Norin here and deal 2 damage. Like that is valuable. Because Curtis, okay. Curtis says, I'll block. My Hero of the Nextborn did its job. It brought a little 1/1 that drew me 2 cards with the Disturbing Mirth. And let's trade it off. Yeah, with Norton not being able to block, I feel like trading it for anything that can attack or block is I mean, it's good for the player with Norin. I think Aaron is pretty happy when this happens. Because Norin basically is attacking every single turn, doesn't care if it trades with something, and Curtis is trading for a real card that can do more than just attack. So I think Aaron's just deciding here if he wants to allow this to happen or if he wants to send the Norin back running away to exile. Okay, just gonna let it happen. Alright, so the gremlin that was mentioned is here. And he's got the Clockwork Percussionist, which is a haste creature, so that's it's always nice. Looks like he's gonna do the obvious thing and send in with everything. So I believe the way the slasher works is if it goes unblocked, let's say the other 2 creatures are blocked, he'll go to 3 and then he'll lose half his life total. So he'll go to 1 then. And Aaron is probably thinking, yep, sounds good. No, doesn't sound good, but it's it's the best move. So he goes to 1. He sees a mountain, and now Aaron has his decisions are very straightforward.
The plane's off the top, unfortunately.
Yeah, so he's just gonna have to chump block here. Trial of Agony, I believe, needs 2 targets, so nothing going on there. But yeah, the Unstoppable Slasher. I mean, you don't need to trigger the second ability if your opponent's at 1. You just need to attack and get in for 2. So after a bit of technical difficulties on multiple ends here with Arena not working, somebody's mic off, we do get the win here from Curtis, and we'll be back momentarily for the Valgavoth showdown.